Welcome to Laos, where we're going to talk about Cambodia, and this is Beer Talk. All right, so starting out with when we got in Cambodia, we went to a show. Anybody remember what the show was about?
Well, can't we start first by saying that we landed in an airplane in an airport, that we were the only plane in the airport.
Their brand new airport.
Very unusual.
And nobody was there. Well, maybe one other plane.
Wow.
But, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
we read earlier that they were, during the pandemic, they were reinvesting in the structure, not just the airport, but a lot of the streets, highways. Kind of a good plan.
You know, I'm pulling for them. I hope they come through this and that their investment pays off and that this nation is kind of invigorated and
Yes.
and made better through people like us. But maybe people better than us, but you know,
So-
tourists nonetheless.
We enjoyed Cambodia. Let's so we went to the show that night.
Yes.
Got dinner. There was music. There was dancing. Does that pretty well sum it up?
It was kind
Oh,
of interesting
yes.
with their hand movements.
Yeah.
and
How
stuff.
about the hands going backwards?
Yes.
And finding out that they start at 8 years old. I guess working with the girl's fingers so they can actually turn it that way.
I mean,
Is that healthy, Doc? Who knows?
Probably no more than wrapping feet so they keep tiny, right?
Well, that we're going to talk about later.
Yeah. Okay. So then the morning. It was an early morning, and what did we get up to see? No, it wasn't an early
It wasn't.
morning.
That was the second day, not the first day.
Yeah.
Oh, it's second day.
Yes.
What did we do the first day?
The rats.
Yes,
Oh,
the
how
rats.
can I forget the rats?
That was fascinating.
Oh, Larry, tell us about the rats.
Well, the rats are special rats. They come from Tanzania, where they originate. They're a large pouched.
Large pouch rat, yes.
Giant pouch
About the size of a cat. I mean, they're big rats.
It's a big old rat, y'all.
and a long tail.
They have one purpose in life that we're concerned with, and that's to find explosives, so landmines, unexploded bombs from the war, stuff like that. And they're very successful at doing that. And they have a special advantage in that because they're small, they can walk on top of these landmines and bombs, and they're not heavy enough to blow it up. So they can go out into the field, and that just keeps the handlers from out of harm's way.
They
for
smell the
bomb.
TNT.
They smell the
It's
TNT.
Unbelievable.
It
1/trillionth of a gram.
Yes.
Yeah.
It fascinated me that they're more efficient than metal detectors. A metal detectors team can take 2 days and they do it in a half hour.
Yes.
Just
Very
amazing.
efficient.
Just amazing.
But the whole way they set the grid up with the strings and marched them back and forth to cover everything, it was pretty impressive.
It's a very manual, low-tech process.
But effective,
From
right?
on the rats to the rats themselves. It's not how you would
Yeah.
expect to.
Yeah.
Several of us
But-
met the rats and were able to hold them.
Yeah. But
Who remembers his name?
Rats.
The name of the rat?
Gertrude.
Yes.
Oh, Gertrude.
Jordan.
Jordan was the
No,
one that was going
He
across.
did the demo.
Yeah,
Yes.
he was the demo.
Gertrude was
Yeah.
the
Gertrude was the whole D.
whole thing.
Yeah. Now, the purpose of the rats can't be missed here because there are so many mines and unexploded bombs, and it's still a risk today. And so, our hats off to the rat teams and what they're doing to clear the mines.
They believe there are 2 million left that have not yet been
that they know
found.
of.
And they're hoping for, what was the year? 2030? 2030 to wrap it up.
and didn't they say that just this month 3 people were killed trying to find
Wow.
that?
Yeah, there's a lot.
So I'm still having some accidents.
And many of them are kids because they're out running where they shouldn't be.
And
Here's to
playing
the
with
rats.
them.
Here's to the rats.
Here's the
rats.
rats.
Absolute rats. The best.
Okay, obviously I didn't remember which day was what, so what came after the rats?
Temples. Lots
of temples. Yes.
Temple after temple after temple.
They were built in such a way you couldn't
That they
figure
all
out they
look
would
the
have done it 912 years ago, having moved the rock that they did.
Huge rock.
There were a lot. You're right there.
Yeah.
So
But the second, third, fourth, whatever it was, with the trees coming out of it, the
Yes.
Temple
Yeah,
of
that was-
Doom
that
one.
was
Oh, you're
interesting.
talking Angkor Wat and
Yeah.
Angkor Thom, yeah.
Yeah.
Looked like something out of a Harrison Ford movie.
Yeah. Anchor Tom with the faces and stuff like that. That was
The smiling,
just-
the smiling guy.
Smiling
And that's where we had the baboon join us.
Yes.
Yes.
Kind of distracted us from the smiling faces.
And at one time, I think there was 54 of those towers with 4 faces. So what's that? 216?
216 faces.
Smiling faces. Yeah.
Wow.
But that morning, wasn't it that morning we got up at 4:30 in the morning?
Yes, 4:30.
Oh yes.
To go
4:30
see
for
a
the sunrise.
sunrise over
Angkor Wat.
Angkor Wat.
But we got up, hour before sun up to go out to see the sunrise. And you can see the orange coming out of the sky over this great big temple.
And we were prompted to get
Yeah.
up and go.
And it just before the sun ball came up, we left.
I was so disappointed.
But it was still pretty skies.
It
We
was,
went
but we could
for,
have stayed another 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
yeah.
And it wouldn't have ruined our day.
It was almost a sunrise. Yeah. But
I don't think Peter will ever get over it.
no, I'm going to jump to sunset. Our sunset
Yes.
was awesome.
Yes.
We were out on the boats. We got the ball, reflection in the
Reflection.
water. It was wonderful.
Stunning.
Bud's got a great story about that experience.
So we're out there, and all these gondolas are out there, and they stopped, and the water was as calm as could be, and the sun was just kind of starting to set. Beautiful tree in the background. We got great pictures of that tree. And this guy saw this little lotus flower coming up through the water. It stood about a foot above the water, maybe. He reached down the water, grabbed it.
Got two of
and-
them.
Two of them.
Two buds.
Two buds. Bud. And he-
His name was Bat. Not to confuse.
His name is Bot. And he started making this little necklace with these flowers.
Because we didn't know what he was doing. But he had this, tell him about the way he was looking.
Oh, the look at his face, the pride which he took,
Yeah, he got all smiles. It's like, man, this is going to be it.
and our wives were just like gloating over him. And he was, I'll never forget that face we saw
Yes.
of him, the pride which he took. And then he did that, and then there's the boat next to us, and the ladies, our wives, were showing the other guy, the other boat, what he did for us, and now he's trying to mimic. And
But
do
he
something.
launched into a song, didn't he?
Yeah, he was a singer.
Yeah.
Not to be outdone.
That's right. They were all about entertainment.
Yeah. Larry and I had a problem in our boat. The women kept complaining because they thought the sunset would look a lot better with a glass of wine.
Well, they were right about that. They were
Yeah.
right about that.
But how about that night? Because that day was like 2 days. It
Yes.
started at 4:30. We had a 1:30 to 3 when many of us thought, do I really want to go back into it or just nap the rest of the day? And we decided, since we had paid for the trip on the gondola, we were going to go. But how about dinner that night?
I'm not going to venture a guess what we did for dinner because I'm on
that's
the wrong
easy.
day.
I can tell you. Oh,
yes, okay.
They ran into us when we were there.
We took a tuk-tuk to downtown or Old Town.
Yeah.
Market,
Whatever, yes.
And of course, we couldn't not put our feet into the fish tanks.
Yes.
Yes.
So, there's a little trepidation about putting your feet in the 150 fish. And all I have to say is, what an experience.
Yes.
It was $1 for 10 minutes. The next day, who was you?
I did it as well.
Jeff,
our feet
Laura,
were so
and Laura.
soft.
Yes.
and
How soft were
smooth.
they?
Oh, they were so
How
soft.
soft?
So
We
soft.
could have gone ice skating without putting ice skates on. They were that smooth.
soft.
It's just that soft.
Yeah.
Freaking fish on them.
Now the interesting thing is when we put our feet in, initially we're jumping around and twitching, and
It's ticklish.
Yes.
but it calmed down and
Yes.
it was great. So
I would do it again freely.
Yes.
I would do it weekly.
Do you think those are specially trained fish that know where to attack the dead skin, or is that?
I don't think they're like the rats. I don't think they go through a training
I
program.
think they're looking for food, bud.
That's disappointing.
Yeah.
It's a common tilapia. It's equipped to do that. All right.
Yeah.
So does that complete Cambodia?
I think it does.
All right.
Yeah.
We're getting a wrap-up sign from our director.
We went on a boat ride through one of these channels out to a floating village. Before we came to Camp.
Oh, before we came.
Oh, yes,
Yes.
the morning we left.
Yes.
The floating village.
That was just
pretty
yesterday.
cool.
That
We
was
should remember
yesterday.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just the way it was organized with the houses, the market, the school,
Church.
the
And church there.
What a fascinating
Yeah.
area.
Floating school, a floating church,
Yeah, moving city on water.
and some
Really.
floating human waste. No,
and,
never.
And somebody asked the question, is this the only one? He said, no, there are many.
Yeah.
500,000 people in Cambodia live on
The water.
on the lake.
He said there's about 100 of these
Yeah.
cities on the water around the lake.
No rent, no taxes, so it has its appeal.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Have to
Not
worry
for
a lot
me.
about how
So now when
to deal
someone-
with your sewage either.
So now when someone says, well, we got a place on the lake, you're going to say, now do you mean beside the lake or on the lake? They'll look at you, scratch and say, what are you talking about? Well, I want to be clear.
So after that, we did jump on a plane and headed to Laos, and so that concludes tonight's
Beer Talk.